Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to My Custom Life. My name is Trey, and today I'm going to show you a video on how I made my file guide for sharpening your bevels if this is the process that you use. Now, sharpening bevels is fairly decent with the file guide. You're able to get some decent plunge lines as long as you stay controlled. You're not going real fast, really. Once you get out here, once you get out here, it's all right. But when you start the plunge lines, you definitely want to go slower, want to be more controlled so you get a nice, good, straight, consistent plunge line up the knife. And what I did, I'm going to lower the camera real quick so you can see what I use. I need to make a new one because this one's all beat up and everything. But what I did is let me get my tape measure so I can give you the accurate measurements. Oh no, I think I put my tape measure up. Oh, no, here it is. All right. I just got a standard 2x4. Man, see, look at that. That's all beat up from that C-clamp. But anyway, you cut. See, these two are the same length. So you cut two boards that are 12 inches long. I believe they're the same length. No, I was wrong. That's 10.5 inches. Okay, so one 10.5, one 12 inch. And how I learned this was exactly what we're watching right now. I learned it off YouTube. And then the bottom board is going to be 14 inches long. Now, this doesn't have to be the exact same measurements. Just what you want is when you put your first board on, you want there to be enough room to attach this board. So the bottom has to be quite long, and then these two can be different measurements. You can make this wider, you can make this longer to stretch out further. And what I did is I did not be very precise, but drilled holes. You can mark it out to be way more precise than I was. Most of them are on pretty good points. Some of them aren't, but mark out holes to put. This is what I use, is an eye bolt. I said it the other day in one of my videos. I said an eyelet. That's not right. Eyelet is what you use to clamp kydex together. But anyway, an eye bolt, and you can get them from any hardware store. Get them from Walmart. They're nothing special. This one's got tape on it, so I know exactly how far to put it down. But you thread it into these holes, and what you can do is you can thread it to whichever one, and that will determine how either steep or how far back up the spine your bevels go. If you want a really nice thin slicing knife, you'll set it way back here, and you'll screw it way down into the board. And that's going to set your file really, really flat on the knife, really close to touching the spine, and it'll allow you to get a really nice, really thin bevel. Kind of like this. This is a template. I was working on this to be an actual knife, but it didn't work out because the steel was really wavy. It wasn't good steel. It's mild steel. But that's what I used. I put it way down so it made the bevel come all the way up to the spine. And there's a nice distal taper, if you can see. I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, it's a simple design. When you get your boards cut, you're going to drill or screw them together. And then these holes right here, you're going to screw, or you can do. You don't have to drill holes, but I did. But those are going to be your stopping pins, or stopping, what, a file stop. I don't know what you call it. I used rebar, and I ground it to where it was nice and flat. And when you get your eye bolt set to where you want it, you're just going to put it through, and that's going to be your guide. Now, what I use is just a standard file. Depending on what you're doing will depend on what file you use, but I mean, obviously you're going to be putting a flat bevel on, so you're just going to do a flat file. And then I use these. I cannot for the life of me remember what the heck these things are. I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, let me get my little extension or bit for it. But you just put it on right here. You don't have to put that in just yet. But make sure it's on. There's enough room for your file. Kind of push your file in, go up a ways, get a nice hold. And you want to try and make sure your file is as centered as possible so it doesn't move around while you're filing. Make sure it's centered, make sure it's tight. That way you don't worry about your plunge lines getting uneven. So anyway, That's your standard setup. Pretty simple. And what you could do is you could get 2 of these, take this part of the rod and put it all the way down here, so that way your files starts right here and ends like right there, and that way you got 2 clamps, so you know for a fact it's not going to go back and forth, which I have done that. And then that's your guide, and it's pretty simple. And then what you're going to do with it is, you know, once you get your file or your knife ready, you'll put it up under here, and then you'll get it clamped in where you want it to be. Say I want it to be right there. For the sake of the video, these clamps are not sufficient for this process, but I'm going to use it anyway just to hold the knife down. I use a regular C-clamp for this. Let's say I want it right there, and then wherever I want my plunge lines to be is where I'll put a screw. So say this is just a drill bit, but just for the process of the video, say I want to start right there. So I'll throw the drill bit right there, and that'll act as a stop. Now, if you can see that, that'll act as a stop right there. So on both sides, I'll get even, consistent plunge lines. This is a really simple process. It does take some time. You know, obviously, if you're going to file your own bevels in, and it really just depends mainly on the sharpness of the file and the thickness of the material. Because you know your file's only cut in one direction, you definitely don't want to be bearing down on them really hard, or you're going to damage them. That, or you're going to get big chunks of steel in it. It's just going to scratch up the blade and make really big gouges, much deeper than a regular file cut, and that'll help you get really good consistent bevels. That's what I use, and in future videos when I start actually putting bevels on these knives, I will then show you the process of how I use them, and you know that's what I used with this knife. And I got really good, nice bevels for it, really deep bevels. Now this is a bushcraft knife, so those bevels went a little higher than usual, but it works really well. I hope everyone found some value in this video, and I hope that if you go ahead and go to make your own filing jig, it'll work out really well for you. Let me know how it works. Let me know if I can do anything better to make these videos even more informational, something that's a little easier to understand. I hope everyone has a great day. I hope everyone stays safe, and we will see y'all soon. Love y'all. Bye.